So we were talking, and we thought it'd be a good time to make a video. Shower confessionals. Can you guys see through the fog? She's in there. What are we talking about, babe?
Marriage and how we should get out. I need to get out of the shower.
Okay, she's gonna get out of the shower. Okay, she's out of the shower.
The shower. So we were in the shower, like these conversations come up so randomly. But
That's why we decided to videotape.
yeah, so in the shower we were talking about how how many people actually think about being with someone in sickness and in health. And like we say these vows and we get engaged and we do the whole excitement thing in the wedding, but part of those vows are in sickness and in health. And I think for us as two young healthy individuals who, like, I had my health things, but obviously nothing this crazy, that once reality hit and realizing that like this happened when I'm 31 and it didn't happen in my 60s, and when I said those vows, I just thought it would always be later. I thought it would always be in our 60s or when we're older. Like when we're older, it's not in sickness and in health, not going to be our thing. Like it'll just be health. And I don't know, did you think of that, or was it more like excitement and
No, I just knew I was in. Which is kind of how I am.
I didn't think it was out. I just like that
Yeah.
those specific
Yeah.
situations.
You just think it's in the future, and you don't think about that you're actually going to come to a place where you have to make these hard choices.
And I think the other part of it too, which has been interesting, is like we've had a lot of hard conversations as far as like I have very specific beliefs and I'm pretty stubborn in that, and those conversations have been hard. Like there've been a lot of nights on the living room floor and me being adamant about my stance on things and you wishing I'd be a little more open-minded when, not that I wasn't, we talked about it, but specifically about course of treatment. And it's hard, especially in the time of COVID, to like go into a doctor's office where you can't see their face and they're telling you all this intense information and you don't have an advocate with you. You're recording the conversation on the phone and then you listen to it later, and then like you only hear so much because they're telling you all sorts of crazy statistics or trying to. So you I personally automatically feel like I'm on the defense. And I think that's hard for someone or like my spouse to understand. And it was about being open-minded to other routes if that was necessary and if things went that way. And
I think the hardest part for me, not being in the body that's having the experience, was, she's has these ideas of what she wants to do with treatment and how, her beliefs and why she's choosing the route she's choosing. And I, I just watch. I see what goes on. I see the pain. I see the experience. And it's really hard to watch your person go through pain and struggle. And, I could see her making choices, and she was adamantly against some things, very much for some things. I wanted her to be a little more open-minded in her choices. So we found ourselves butting heads. And as far as the course of treatment went for what she wanted to do, we went back and forth over and over and over again. And in the end, I, need to support her. I think my job is to be an advocate for her. And we came to a consensus on being open-minded for treatment. I think that's just, we're a team and we're together. And
yeah, but I think too, like the realization, I think in that moment, as far as talking about it and like having the hard conversations was like, yeah, we married and we're a couple and we're have a family and all of that, and like we support each other, and that goes with like I know who I chose in marriage, and he very well knows who he chose in marriage, and with that comes like the respect of the individual during this process. And like he's not living in my body, he can see I'm not living in his body, I don't know his experience, I can see his experience and his exhaustion and all that, but it's an interesting like dynamic of, okay, I love you, I respect you, but I also have my concerns, and we have to listen to each other. And I don't think we were ever thought we'd be sitting on the floor listening to each other have really hard conversations. And ultimately, we talk about like, I'm not going to go down any road that will lead to resentment for my husband, and I'm not willing to sacrifice our marriage in that way. I'm not really willing to sacrifice myself as an individual in that way. And I think that's a hard pill to swallow for him, but I think who you married.
Yeah, I mean, those are challenging conversations. And I just, throughout the course of my experiences, in this life of us being married, have become a lot more open-minded to a lot of things. And that's been a very good thing for me. But at the end of the day, it is her body. And she's going to make the choice. And, I'm just going to try to say my piece, and we're going to do it as a team either way. What you got? Are you laughing at me?
No, I just had pain.
Oh, pain.
Speaking of which.
It's very common. But yeah, so I think, I don't know what else you got.
Nothing. It's just, we're trying to record these conversations. Otherwise, we don't really catch them. We reflect on them and talk about it. But I imagine there are a lot of people with cancer becoming so prevalent and chronic illness becoming so prevalent that these are hard conversations that young couples are going to have. And God, they're hard. I don't know. We hope we can like bring some humor and some reality to all of this. It's like, I think it becomes pretty comical when you're diagnosed with cancer and you have this tumor that you're dealing with, and then your husband splits his head open with 8 staples, and then your daughter drinks too much matcha and pukes on you, and then the next day something happens with the tumor. Like, I mean, shoot, you just gotta laugh a little, but we want to be real, and hopefully it brings some sort of light and helps other people too. But, if it's fun and helpful, great. And if it's not, that's okay. So
yeah, that's what we got today.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.